Hello, Guardians. Welcome to Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. I am your host, Corey Deering, and filling in for Josh Finney is the one, the only Colonel Panic himself, Joe Wilson.
Colonel Panic. I have Jeff Steitzer saying that.
That's awesome.
I can't play it for you, though.
You sent it to our chat, I think. Our group chat.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
It's a good one. I'm jealous, actually.
It's great. I love playing it.
How are you, Joe? Are you good?
I'm alive. I'm here. I'm kicking.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm gonna say good. Going with good.
Good. Final answer.
Final answer.
What is this? Wants to be a millionaire.
just my chair drops out. There's a trap door under it. It's like he was not good.
It's like that scene in Monty Python where the bridge scene. Oh.
I feel like I need to what. So like I know that I'm not a purist. I like Monty Python. I do genuinely like it, but I get bored at the cartoons. Mm-hmm. They're funny, but it's just not for me. I also probably am not on enough drugs.
That's fair. Do more drugs.
Do more drugs.
The moral of the story: do more drugs. Everybody.
Do more drugs. That's what I should do.
Just kidding. Don't do drugs, children. It's bad.
Unless your doctor prescribes drugs,
yeah.
Then do them as prescribed only.
Yeah. One pill every 4 hours.
Or whatever the instructions are.
I don't know what it is.
They should tell you. They'll tell you.
They do. Sometimes. Sometimes you have to read their scribble. Doctors can't write well. It's fine.
No.
It's fine. I'm also going to go with good. Although I'm a little less good, but I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
Worse things could be happening, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, all things considered, I'm good. My family's healthy. I have a job. Played some Destiny.
Right. Played
some other games. But
I just looked that Arcadia class jump ship is now on the Bungie store.
Yeah, it's $140 or whatever.
$125.
Mm-hmm.
So much.
I know, especially with the Kade statue that went up today, and that Fallen Captain collectible is $400. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
It's right next to the Kade statue under merchandise, under collectibles. It's $400. It's 16 inches tall. Which is tall.
I mean, it looks good.
It does look good, but does it look $400 good?
That's my wallet.
I don't know. There's a dead ghost underneath him too. So
I just got to the dead ghost, and then that's when you said it. It's like you were narrating.
Yeah, it's like or two P's
in this podcast. Oh shit.
Oh,
I'll see myself out.
Wow. Well, that was the shortest episode. No, I'm just kidding. So before we get into the meat of the podcast, which is going to be kind of traditional run of the mill, I'm doing lore corner this week, everybody. I found one. I found this week's lore, I think. So I found it. Good. Josh, you can yell at me next week while you're I'm eating my Hawaiian barbecue sandwich and riding rides at Disney and drinking around Epcot and I don't know, hanging out with my best friend Ray.
Oh man. The amount of times that he's like, so my best friend, and I'm like, you mean Ray?
Yeah. That Ray guy.
We all know who he is.
We all know Ray. It's fine. It's fine, Josh.
Keep your friend to yourself.
Yeah. We'll be our own friends.
I'll be friends with myself.
Oh, that's why all my friends have end buttons. It's fair. But little tiny announcement. It's actually a pretty big announcement, I would say. Joe is joining the Tower Casuals team. I would say in like a content creation. What's the right word for this, Joe? Give me a word.
You would say
he's you're part of our content creation initiative.
I would be like adjacent.
Yeah. So,
perpendicular.
Yeah.
I mean, we share a lot of uh, similar interests. I clearly like Destiny. I play a lot of Destiny. I am not one of those people that would kid myself and think that buying a season pass in Destiny is too expensive. Like, I'm gonna play it. But I would say, fairly appropriately, my through line to Destiny is through a lot of Bungie history, with Halo and stuff. So we'll be doing some content that is Destiny, but also Destiny adjacent.
Yes, that the word there is adjacent. You know, like, I mean,
Right.
probably gonna record some raids. Probably gonna stream some raids. Tower Casuals on Twitch is available. We're probably gonna start streaming the show actually live at some point. But yeah, we've Joe and I have actually been talking behind the scenes about some stuff that I'm pretty excited for, and I'm been writing more lately actually, and it's been refreshing, I would say. Not that podcasting is like not fulfilling me creatively or anything, but like I want to do more, and we've talked about this outside, so I'm not going to rehash all that, but like I want to do more than just podcasts, because it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, is create stuff, and I get ideas and I start out and then I just get overloaded with other things, and then I don't get to do it. And it's been kind of frustrating the last, maybe frustrating is the wrong word, but just like, I don't know. I've been wanting to do more, and this is, we have an opportunity to do more, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I would say that podcasts are great. Nothing against podcasts. Hello, podcast listeners.
Hello.
But I also want you to have more feasts for your eyes. So maybe some more video content show up on like an Instagram or a TikTok. So I went to this Mixer thing last night for
Mixer. The old Microsoft streaming service?
Oh, I wish. I really do miss Mixer.
I know.
It's really weird, and I get that it was a shit show. Like I know that it was a shit show in a lot of ways. But man, did it have a lot of cool features and was easy to use. Like, playing with friends was never better than on Mixer. Co-streaming on Mixer was so great.
So
One
good.
chat, it just worked well.
Yeah.
But I produce like video content for another company, nothing video game related, but so I do a lot of video content. We had a Mixer and company went there, so I joined them and was talking to a lot of these other vendors and stuff like that, and like everyone was talking about, it's like, oh, you got to get on TikTok and do this thing on TikTok, and I couldn't help myself, because I never can help myself. And I was like, I'm so apprehensive to join TikTok because I know that it has an expiration date.
It's because you're not an under 24-year-old girl who can just,
right.
It's me.
Is it?
I don't know.
It's not you.
I don't know how it works.
This isn't the real you. This isn't who you are. You don't even know who you are yet. How could you say that this is you?
I don't know who I am now. I'm 34 years old.
Right. But like, I just know that, like, there was cripes. What was the one before?
Snapchat.
What was the other video? Snapchat. But Snapchat's still around. But what was the one before that? Wasn't there another one before that? Vine. And then there's definitely another one.
God.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Point being,
I went through all the ones that I know. MySpace.
Is that there's so many, like, everyone's trying to tackle this concept of like, what's a short little clip sharing service, but then every other social media site incorporates the same, like, oh, we'll have reels, we'll have stories, we'll have clips. We'll have
but
this,
then you can share your TikToks to Instagram reels and Facebook
people
stories,
just put
and it's
their
just like
TikToks on Instagram.
So why don't you just do Instagram? Like, I
don't know. So like, and I get that this is probably where I sound old, and that's fine. I am. I'm just gonna be me. But like, I like went on this little tangent about like, I don't want to join it, because I don't see the merit. I don't see what TikTok offers that other platforms don't, I guess. And if that's the case, then something else will probably replace it. She was already telling me about this other one that's up and coming. I think it started with like an EX or start with an X, or it doesn't matter. Leave it in the comments.
Doesn't matter. In 4 years, it'll be gone. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. But whatever. Maybe we'll have a TikTok and we'll put some clips on there. But there for sure will be one on Instagram and Twitter.
I did grab the Tower Casuals TikTok just in case. So
all right. I mean, I'm fine with it, but just there's not going to be curated specific TikTok content.
No, it was mostly just like let's grab all the social media stuff for Tower Casuals, just in, so nobody's like trying to imitate us or whatever. But yeah, so we're gonna try to expand into some video stuff, and we're playing around with something really cool. I think with Psychonauts 2. This is Joe's idea. He came up with it. Full credit to Joe. Called Campaign in My Ass.
If it's bad, then we can share it.
Yeah,
if it's good,
I'll take full responsibility if it's bad. But
no.
So like once a month, we're gonna probably try to do something like that with a game that's on Game Pass or something that's easily accessible to everybody. Right? Like it's gonna be kind of like a comedy.
We're gonna pick a game from Game Pass. We're going to play through it, and we'll have some fun games around whatever that game is. We'll kind of give our opinions on it. It'll be like a little variety show based on one game that we've played, and then next month we'll pick another game and go through that. And if whenever we announce this, anybody that watches the show will give away a month of Game Pass, and you can play along with us, whatever game we choose to play if you want. Or you can play any of the other games on Game Pass. There's like 200 games on there now?
I counted the other day. There's 482 games on the Xbox Game Pass.
482?
Yeah, on the Xbox version of Game Pass.
So you can play any game. You don't have to play the one we're playing, but you can get a free month, and we'll try to do that as long as we can until we work out the kinks and see if it works or not. I'm excited. This is something I've wanted to do for a while now.
Yeah.
And they're all going to be pretty short games. I don't think we're going to pick anything.
We're not picking like a
200-hour
RPG or anything.
Right.
Psychonauts is kind of
already a 40-hour a week job.
Yeah.
Plus Halo.
Yeah. About as rewarding as one too recently. So
yeah. So it'll be like I think the max that I would want to invest is probably like that 15-hour mark.
Mm-hmm.
But ideally, I would say leaning more towards like a Limbo, like a 4 to 6 hour would be great.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. Josh is going to join us, I believe, for Psychonauts. He's already done playing it, so I'm still trudging through it.
Yeah, I'm still playing it. I mean, we talked a little bit before the show, but
we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But I'm really excited to venture into this video content stuff. Like our YouTube channel, I've already been trying to do some things with it, but I'm excited to do like real stuff for it. I mean, granted, you can watch the video versions of our podcast there. You can watch our lore corners and stuff there, but like, let's be honest, I want to do more. I want to do more cool stuff. So now that's out of the way. So before we get into this week's TWAB, Joe, I've been really struggling with leveling up in Destiny. Like really now granted, geez, my son is like really upset. He's crying. He's crying in there.
It's like the one of two things he can do.
I know. He poops, he cries, he eats, and sleeps for an hour. So
yeah.
I've been really struggling in Destiny to level up. Like today I did some stuff, and I finally got my first drop in about a week and a half over my light level today as a Pinnacle. And I'm like, man, this is just like, is it just me? Am I not doing the right things? Like,
so we'll go through a little questionnaire. When you say when it wasn't dropping, that you weren't getting drops that were like a higher light level, your Pinnacle drops, do you mean like, I'm going to use this as an example, that you had like one piece of gear that was a higher light level and you keep getting that same gear, or like you're getting like 13, 20 drops for your Pinnacle?
I'm getting 13, 20 drops for my Pinnacle.
That is not. And you, like your character, you have all 13, 20 gear, like you're at max light.
Yeah, I have a lot of my gear now is like it's at 1321 or 1322.
I need you to like record you getting a Pinnacle drop at 1320, because that would be some kind of bug, but I don't know. I would imagine that you wouldn't be the only person.
I mean, at first I thought like, well, I'm doing like Crucible and Gambit in my 3 strikes, and I'm like, okay, well maybe that's the problem, and like I haven't done Nightfall stuff yet because I usually save that for the weekends, but you know, we did Dead Man's Tale last week. We ran my friend through Presage last week because he hadn't done it yet, and we ran through it, and the Pinnacle drop was a 1320 chess piece. And I'm like, my chess piece is 1321 and all my other gear is 1320 or above. Like, I can't. Like, why is this dropping like this?
Yeah, that's weird. So I had a bad run a couple weeks ago where 4 of my Pinnacle drops were all leg pieces, and I was getting Pinnacle drops, but they were all like, basically I had 1320, like 1324 legs dropped that week. So basically wasting a lot of those. I wasn't advancing, but I was getting Pinnacle drops. But no, I haven't had a problem with getting Pinnacle drops. It's just whether or not they're the right one. And it feels slow, but it's also, we're looking at like a 6-month season, so like I'm not super concerned. Do we know, is the light level's not expanding for the 30th anniversary season, is it?
I don't think so.
You know?
I think that Season of the Lost. What is the light level now for Season of the Lost? What's the cap?
I want to say with 1340.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got some grinding to do, I guess.
Maybe it's 1330 with the what you can get that with extra like 5 or something,
with the artifact or whatever. Or
no, because the artifact you can go higher than that.
I mean, I guess
I don't know. It's not much, so I wouldn't be concerned about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have so much time to do it that I would say don't focus on. I would more so focus on leveling up your artifact and leveling up your seasonal progression and making sure that you get the weapons you need.
At this point, I'm more concerned of getting prisms and shards than I am Pinnacle drops, just because like I'm trying to masterwork my gear. I want to get everything ready for like whatever we're doing. You know what I mean? But that's the thing too, is like I did two Nightfalls last night. Now, granted, it wasn't the 1320 or the highest one or whatever, but like I didn't get any shards or anything either from that.
Yeah, you don't always get it. So I ran a couple Nightfalls the other day during the day, but I got prisms. I think 3 runs that I did, I got like 2, 1, and then 2. So they do drop, but it is random. Like you can run them for a while and totally not get them, and that wouldn't be weird. We just need to run some higher level Nightfalls, but you definitely need. I don't know. I don't like doing LFGs, and like I know some people are okay with it. Like I just don't. I just don't like doing it.
Yeah, I don't really like. I barely like playing with my friends. I don't want to play with random people. I mean, not.
I like playing with my friends, but it just sometimes, like with being an adult, it is so hard to orchestrate like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's my problem. That's my problem, right? We're like, okay, well, I'm only available after like 8:15 after my kids go to bed, because like by the time I get home, make dinner, try to spend time with my wife, and trying to get my kids bathed and to bed and stuff. It's like, well, I'm available now, and then like everybody goes to bed at like 10:30, so it's like, well, maybe we're raiding, maybe we're not, maybe we're running Nightfall, maybe we'll grind some Gambit, but like the weekend, then in the weekends, it's like, well, people are busy on the weekends. You know, I know that you do a lot of stuff on the weekends for, you know, side work or whatever, and it's like, man, and now I'm gonna have to start working on like one weekend day in the morning, which isn't a big deal, but like, man,
yeah. I mean, Weekends are tough for me because if they're not booked up, like that's also like the family time
Mm-hmm.
to do like stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always rough, but I don't know. We'll figure out a good balance. It'll be all right, but I
Yeah.
wish it would be. I just need to quit a job. I don't know how
Yeah.
to do that.
We make
But I
good
definitely,
content, and you know,
yeah, start an OnlyFans
God,
because like you can do porn now again.
yay!
Oh, thank God.
God, I was really worried. I was really,
I was no joke. Like that would displace a lot of people.
yeah,
Like I'm
like 90% of that site.
good for them. You should be able to do what you want. Who cares? They're like oh because the reason they said that was like they're like the banks and stuff were giving them pressure. But like, what do porn sites do? Like they use banks, right? Like they're not dealing in cash. It's not the like weird '80s where you go into a room and there's like a bunch of cocaine
It's
everywhere,
not like they're funded by a
bags of money.
briefcase full of
Right,
hundreds, like,
right.
you know, like.
People using debit cards. But I
I
guess
wonder what their. I wonder what Pornhub's debit card says. You think it says Pornhub, or you think there's like a an umbrella company that holds all these together?
it would have to say Pornhub. I think that I'm not a Pornhub aficionado or anything like that.
Are you
But
sure? I thought I saw you on there the other day. I thought we were chatting. Was that not you?
yeah, in the comments.
But except your Pornhub name is Colonel Penis, so I
Colonel
mean,
Penis. They do a lot of good stuff. They always have like they list like they at the end of the year they always release all their statistics, and they're always super interesting. And they always try to do good stuff. Like they have all these initiatives that like are like environmentally friendly or like that or some sort of I don't know good charity that they go towards. And I don't know the inner workings of Pornhub. It could be a nightmare
look,
for all I know. Like I don't know, but
let's
it
face it.
seems like it. They embrace what they are, which I respect. How's that? You got it, flaunt it.
Porn makes a lot of money still. Let's be honest here.
Hopefully, the people making it get some of that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
They're the real heroes.
yeah. Porn stars are the real heroes. Everybody, we said it.
They
We said
take
it. Right
a lot
here.
of shit.
Yeah. Man, I gotta close this Bungie store. Speaking of porn,
How about that?
yeah, God, dude, there's so many things on there that I want that I have no money for.
Right.
Maybe my kid wants a Kade statue for Christmas. I don't know.
Let's talk about the Kade statue. Why do you think they're releasing a Kade statue now? Just popular demand?
Just because Cade's popular, I don't know. Because I mean, well, here's the thing: is like for people who started at Forsaken, is Kade popular?
I don't know.
Like, is he still like because like on the free to play version, he's on the cover of the free to play version, like on the key art.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole campaign kind of revolves around him, but they took out like unless you played a lot of Destiny 1 or you played that Red War campaign, Cade's like I mean,
Yeah.
you hear him during strikes, I guess, but
We were talking about this in the chat where someone had posted the Cade statue, and the running joke is obviously Destiny is a dead game, according to the internet. So I said, why would you want that? Cade's a dead character.
Good joke, by the way.
And then Nerd said too soon, and I'm like, he's been dead for almost half of the franchise.
It's fair. That's
now.
so crazy to think about right now, though.
Isn't that weird?
God.
And like, don't get me wrong, I think he is one of the strongest characters in Destiny because he embodies a lot of the mindset of the players. He's kind of like he's fun. He's definitely was like some of the only humor in it.
Yeah. I mean, he was the only personality in the first game, right? Like, no, they didn't really flesh out any of these characters until later.
Right. I mean, he definitely left like a void in the game that I don't think's been replaced yet.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people are hoping it's going to be Crow, but I don't really see it yet. You know?
So
I mean, I know Crow has had like a great story arc and everything, but like, I just don't think he's going to be it, even though like originally he was written to be that character, but now he's like, you know?
So I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm going to say it publicly. And if anyone actually executes this before I do, again, I just need a credit in your whatever you do. Think about the Destiny storyline now. You're caught up, like you're current with the story right now?
Yeah. Sorry,
Destiny plays out exactly like a soap opera. And I would love to see some of these scenes shot like a soap opera. You could do like cheesy makeup, like the weird satiny camera, the weird music that like the music that doesn't quite fit. Like you have these two siblings who like had a weird relationship, and then the one turned bad and tried to, and ultimately killed somebody's friend, and then he was murdered, right? Turns
That's
out
fair.
he came back from the dead. And now his like sister's best friend is like trying to protect him, and he became like oddly like obsessed with the person that like captured him a while ago and like tricked him. So, I mean, if you were to, you could write a Days of Our Lives episode. I bet that you could probably put Days of Our Lives clips and build a Destiny storyline out of it.
Probably.
But I would love to see like Petra and Mara and Crow like all in that soap opera setting.
Mm-hmm.
If you could set it all in the Dreaming City, it would feel so real.
Yeah.
But Crow's, I don't know, it kind of bothers me. I was really excited about him because, first off, just like those screenshots where it shows like Crow killing Kade, and then like the hand, like the whole hand thing, you've all seen it.
Yeah.
That's great filmmaking. Those are great moments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like this character that was was such a shithead before, and then obviously was taken advantage of, and then like had a really bad turn, and to come back and be someone that could be such a voice for good. I was really excited about him. But now this past week, I don't know. I don't like that he's like falling back. It really sounds like
Aldrin.
Sounds like his Aldrin, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that has a lot to do with like it's funny because like I still think Mara Sov is like manipulative and just like this.
Oh, for sure.
This almost not a villain, but she definitely is one of those characters that only really looks out for herself and will do whatever it takes to get her to succeed and the Awoken to succeed, you know?
I feel like she has too many secrets.
Yeah, that too.
And she just doesn't ever give you the answer. Like she never fully explains anything, and then you just don't know, because it's like she'll omit something that's just like, if you would just say the one extra thing, then I would feel okay. Can you just say this one thing? And she just like walks away. And you're like, no, I need you to say, I need to know that you're okay. And I don't know. I get it. There's just so much tension happening in this story right now, and it bothers me. And also knowing that like we are gonna have to wait a really long time to get that true resolution that any of us are looking for, really kind of bums me out.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm still playing. I'm still happy to play. I get excited every Tuesday.
Yeah.
What's more exciting, Tuesdays or Thursdays? Do you like more for the story drip, or do you like the twab?
I'm more of a story guy. I'm not as into like the sandbox changes and you know what the meta is of PvP as much as, you know, a lot of other people we play with are. I've been experimenting more with builds, you know, and trying to find the right like 2 or 3 good builds to play around with, you know. So I've been doing that, but it's been really hard because I haven't fucking prisms, dude. Like they're just like not. Anyways,
do you have sleeper?
Yeah. I'm working on the catalyst. I'm about halfway there.
Man, that particle destruction mod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got that. I got that yesterday. Man, dude,
it's so crazy.
I gotta tell you, without the catalyst, it's crazy. And then with the catalyst, this is gonna be like everybody's gonna be running sleeper again.
Oh, I mean, it's already happened. So in the Shattered Realm mission, the boss at the end of the alignment thing.
Mm-hmm.
I one shot killed him with sleeper.
Yeah.
It was the most anticlimactic boss battle I've ever had. I
Yeah.
like get to it, and then the next time I played, I tried to run like a solar build
Mm-hmm.
without using that catalyst. Instead, I used the what is it, Pyretic Embrace,
Mm-hmm.
because I see people running that too, and then ultimately like was a much longer battle
Yeah.
the second time because I had to do like the phases and then I kill the I call them witches.
Yeah.
What are they? What
They're
are they
witches. They're witches, right?
Are they called witches? I
Are
don't
they?
think they are.
I don't.
I don't think so.
Are
I
they?
don't know.
I don't remember.
I always call them witches.
Are they not called
Hey,
witches? They're
I don't think
witches.
they are.
Hive witches. Hmm.
No results.
No, there are the Hive. The origins? Nope, don't care about that. Nope. Where's the hierarchy of Hive? God, this Wikipedia entry for
There we go.
Hive
Yeah.
is extremely long. That's a lot of lore. I don't know. We're gonna call them witches.
Wizards. They're wizards.
Wizards.
So there's thrall, knights, acolytes, and wizards.
I almost said warlock, so I'm like, that's not right. That's a class.
Right. Yeah, I call them witches. It's because of the scream.
Yeah. That's awfully sexist of us.
I'm a guy.
Nothing like two white guys being sexist on a podcast. Am I right?
Yeah, we got a podcast. At least we know that no one will hear it.
Oh man. Yeah, about that.
It's a way for us to get all of our white aggro.
Yeah.
Put it into a vacuum.
It's my white anger.
Yeah.
Man. Anyways,
All right.
this twab. Let's get to the. I should probably be taking timestamps because that's something I've been doing recently, and then I just forgot this time. That's fine though. 32, 33, twab.
I really thought that when the Destiny 7th anniversary blog entry dropped, I'm like, oh, this must be the TWAB.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, really should say this week at Bungie. And then I came a couple hours later.
Yeah. So the TWAB is mostly about trials returning this weekend. Really, it's this fusion rifle. Is that a fusion rifle? That's a fusion rifle, right? The linear fusion rifle looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legendary fusion rifle. Reed's Regret, which is something we talked about a couple weeks ago because somebody saved their trials engrams, I guess, and turned it in and got one last week, so we kind of already knew about it. It's stasis damage, and the ability roll has some fun perks like triple tap and Vorpal weapon. By the way, side tangent on perks. I've gotten so many weapons with Dragonfly or Firefly recently.
Mm-hmm. And
when you get that headshot, it just feels so good.
It is a good feeling. I got the new I want to say it's the new auto rifle, the seasonal auto rifle. Let's see.
I haven't gotten any weapons from this season yet.
The Chrysor I'm not gonna butcher this. Chrysaramello.
Yeah, I haven't got. I think the only thing I've gotten is the shotgun, the Fracturus or whatever.
I like that shotgun.
Yeah, I do too.
The auto rifle is a slower fire auto rifle. It's like one of those like chung 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 chung. It's
yeah,
like almost like one of those like heavier machine guns. But I got it with Dragonfly on it, and let me tell you, it feels great when you're firing into like a bunch of thrall, or a bunch of taken, and you just see like explosions happening. It's like, oh, I'm doing my good job here.
Yeah. There's some patch notes here. I mean, do we want to get into this? Trials passages are now account scoped. So purchase the same ticket on an alternate character will not reset ticket wins. So that's cool. Replace the weekly 3, 5, 7 win challenges with a win rounds challenge. So new 7 win challenge is available at St. 14. Removed weekly bounties. Made changes to rule sets. Trials of Osiris round time reduced to 90 seconds. Trials of Osiris, each round starts with fresh special ammo. Crossplay must be enabled to participate in trials. Now, I know some people were worried about being paired with PC players, and from what I understand is you won't be paired with PC players unless you have PC players in your party. So that seems pretty standard, though, right? That's pretty standard across shooters, right?
I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily standard, because I know that in my frame of reference is MCC. I know in MCC that I always see like PC players and keyboard mouse players and stuff like that in my lobbies. In reality though, like, it's not that big of a deal. I think it's a good move for trials, because like it's a sweatier environment, but at the same time, like, I don't know, it's a game, and if you're playing competitively, then like play competitively, and like if you feel like the mouse and keyboard has an unfair advantage, then like you should use mouse and keyboard. And if you feel like you can't do that, then it sounds like we know where you're at.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like everybody's got such a big butt, and I don't like, that's a Pee-wee's Big Adventure reference. I just don't like it. Like this everything that's in this about trials feels like it increases its accessibility. And for someone like me that plays a lot but never gets to play trials, again, we've talked about, like, because of the times that I'm able to play, I don't ever have anyone that I feel comfortable playing with, because I'm more focused on having fun, and I really only want to have fun. I don't want to suffer with a bunch of like strangers, but I would be willing to casually go into trials and be sweaty by myself in a solo queue. I feel like that would be fine.
Yeah. I haven't played trials since vanilla D2, and my friend Mitch and I, we're gonna go in, and because we get match made or whatever, we're gonna try it and not be sweaty about it. We're gonna go in and see what it's all about and try to actually get in, because I'm the same as you. Is like, I play a lot, but like a lot of these trials especially is something that I don't play, because it's like, well, it's just the sweaty tryhards. I don't feel like playing with, we talked earlier, like LFG, like really sweaty people that are just going to be like, yell at you if you use a scout rifle instead of a sniper or whatever. And it's like, let me figure it out, just let us go in. Let's figure it out. Let's see. Let's just see,
It at least gives you an opportunity to try it, which is all. And I will spend an afternoon to get like a few wins on my card. Like, I don't mind as long as I can keep playing it. But when you play in a group, if you're playing casual, like, you always have that one friend that quits. He's like, I'm done with this. This is too much. And it's just like, just play the game.
Yeah.
And then like everyone has to stop because one person quit. So I don't know. I'm all for it. The only thing that I would say is that, like, I feel like a lot of the stuff that they're doing with trials now, and this is the only argument that I can see that's like kind of valid, is that it's a little close to like Iron Banner now. That I don't feel like there's enough difference between those two in a lot of ways. I mean, there clearly is. Like, trials is still going to be way more competitive, and there's way more of a reason to play it in a lot of ways. But it just feels like there's not a whole lot there that differentiates them now. Once you get like the matchmaking involved.
Yeah,
but
to me, it's just the game types. It's just like, oh, well, your light level matters in this game type now. I mean, I think it helps that trials isn't happening when Iron Banner is happening, right? Like, I
think that's a good move.
Yeah. Which we kind of talked about last week. Like, I just feel like if you're gonna have two competitive PvP modes, you might as well, focus on Iron Banner, which is once a month, right? And then the rest of the weekends you focus on trials. I think it's a smart move. So
yeah, I feel like I mean, the reason I want to play trials is mostly for the weapons and the gear. And I play Iron Banner to upgrade my light level.
Yeah,
you get.
I mean, that's all
like,
I do.
What is it, like 4 Pinnacle Drops with it usually?
Yeah.
4 or 5.
It's
So yeah,
it's 4 for the bounties, and then each step of the quest I think gives you one, right? Or is that just a powerful drop? And then once you complete the quest, you get a pinnacle.
yeah, you get the 4 quests that all are pinnacles, and there's that. Or no, wait, the 4 bounties that are all pinnacle, and a quest that's a pinnacle. I think so. I think there's 5.
Yeah. So, and the quest is the full season. So neat.
Yeah, I feel like the only everything that they mentioned in there, I feel like didn't we already hear about this? Like I felt like
We did.
Like
We
when I was
did.
reading it, I was like, this is all like news that I've heard before.
We heard about it a couple weeks ago. I was just kind of reiterating because we like surprise when they announced the new expansion. This show got a lot more listeners within the last 2 weeks. So like we're just kind of people didn't catch up or anything.
I would like to. So if you're a new listener, or if you're new to Destiny, I would like to leave a comment. Can you leave comments here?
I mean, you can leave a comment on the YouTube video. You can
reach out to us. Find us on Twitter. I want to know: are you new to Destiny, or are you just coming back to Destiny?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what that looks like. I would like to know genuinely, like who is this your first time playing Destiny?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's gotta be overwhelming.
At Tower Casuals on Twitter and Instagram. Look for the episode post. Leave a comment there. We want to know.
I would like to know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we did a full breakdown. I think 2 weeks ago. Not the Witch Queen breakdown episode. The episode after that, we did a lot on Trials. So if you want a 40-minute breakdown of what's changing in Trials, you can go there. Not a lot else. There's a hot fix happening, but I mean, it's just fixing a lot of issues that are minor. So not a lot happening in the TWAB this week. We had like 4 meaty ones in a row. Now it's just kind of like, well, it's happening. It's fine.
I think that's going to be kind of how it is moving forward. I think that all the major updates are basically being saved for February at this point. We know that we got a few more weeks left in this season in reality until the 30th anniversary stuff takes over. And we also have like all the seasonal events coming out.
Yeah.
I want to know what's happening for Halloween.
Dinosaurs is what's happening.
There's no way we're going back to the haunted forest, right? I felt like the last year we went back there because everything got pushed. We would have not gone back there otherwise.
They have to have something new this year, right? They have to. If they don't,
right?
If
it's the meme. It's the Natalie Portman meme. It's like, oh, Halloween's coming up. It's like we're not going back to the haunted forest, right? Right?
Oh, God, please no. Meme. Well, I don't think we can because isn't the haunted forest on Mercury, and Mercury's been sunset.
It is, but it also
it's an asset swap, I guess.
Right. I mean, like you could. I'm sure they like if
they turn the lights off in Mercury.
Right.
Oh God, please don't. But we're getting dinosaurs.
We're getting dinosaurs.
You know, it'd be cool if one of the sparrows was just the Jurassic Park Jeep. Be cool.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't want to tell anyone how much I'd spend on that because I feel like they would make it. Have you ever watched Mythic Quest?
I'm watching it right now, actually.
Great show, by the way.
It's fun.
Really surprised. Episode 3. Also, anybody that's listening, if you're on the fence about Mythic Quest, if you like video games and you like anything really in this industry, I was so skeptical that I would like it because again, it's just like, oh, they're pandering to me.
Mm-hmm.
But if you make it to episode 3, if you watch episode 3, it is, I would say, like great filmmaking in a lot of ways. They play an homage to a really great film, and it is so good. Really like it. I've become a big fan.
Yeah, I've been watching it because I had that free year of Apple TV Plus when I got my phone, and then it expired. And then it expired. Oh. And then it just kept charging me, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll watch Ted Lasso. And then I caught up on Ted Lasso, and then I was like, well, Mythic Quest seems like it's a show made for me. Video games. It's got that guy from Always Sunny in it. Ashley Birch is in it. I'll give it a whirl, right? Turns out it's pretty good.
It's good.
So,
I don't know. Wait, what were we talking? We're talking about dinosaurs. Oh, there's that. I don't know if you got to the episode where they put the $250,000 sword in like their marketplace, and then someone bought it, and he was like, everyone was surprised, like someone bought it. Like they put it in there as like something that you would never actually buy.
Yeah.
But I would buy Jurassic Park cheap. I would put real dollars.
Maybe they'll get like different Jurassic Park characters as like
only
ornaments.
The original Jurassic Park. None of this Jurassic World shit.
No, dude, Jurassic World and that second Jurassic World movie was terrible.
I didn't watch it. I was such a big Jurassic Park fan, and Jurassic World was like, I guess, watchable, but it just had none of the heart, man.
Mm-mm.
It has none of the.
Definitely did not.
None of the emotional.
That first movie is so good. That first movie,
so good.
It's probably in my top 10 favorite movies of all time,
and
hands down.
Do you know what the budget for the original Jurassic Park was?
It was pretty low, I think.
I mean, not for that time, but
no, but I mean, it was smaller than.
It was $65 million. I believe.
Yeah,
somewhere around there, maybe 68.
Yeah,
but like, and then I don't know, but I would imagine Jurassic World's budget was probably like $300 million.
Yeah, and
it's. I'm gonna look it up right now. This will be good. Good
good content. Good content. This is what. It's good content.
So Destiny.
Yeah, I mean Dinosaur Armor, right? Haunted Forest.
I would like to know how much it actually cost them to make. Like make a piece of armor. Like I want to know their actual cost. I would just be interested, not because I need to compare.
You think they just have a crew member set that's like, we'll pay you X amount of dollars to make each set of armor you make, you get this amount of money.
No, but I would wager that they can only spend so much time and have so many people.
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
Like they probably, it's like, okay, this week you're making this armor.
Yeah.
But like you think about the person that like does the original mock-ups for it,
mm-hmm.
gets paid something.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, like I'm sure they're all salary, so it's not like it's just time and versus
right.
Whatever. But they have to know because they give it a price in the store, so they have to approximate something.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
But the Jurassic World budget was $215 million.
That's a lot.
That's the production budget.
Yeah.
That's so much money for a movie that's like not as good as a $65 million movie.
Mm.
And I get that that's also there's a big time gap in between there, so
inflation. Yeah, but still. I mean, what's 65 million with inflation? Maybe like 110, 15 million?
I don't know. We'd have to call
less than that.
Someone, an economist.
Oh yeah, let me call up my friend the economist here.
Right, let's have a guess. Talk about the economy.
Anyways.
Dinosaur Armor. I'd buy a Sparrow that's a Jeep. I would buy a Sparrow that is a dinosaur skeleton system.
He's so cool. So cool.
But I don't want to go back to the Haunted Forest.
Yeah, I don't either. That was so bad. Like, so I skipped it one year, and then last year I went back, and I was like, oh, let's give this Haunted Forest thing a whirl, right? Like, I should probably do it since, we have a Destiny podcast and should probably talk about something that's happening in the game, right? Like, that makes sense. And I did, and I regretted every second of it.
I'll still play it. If it comes out this year, I'll play it until I get whatever triumphs are attached to it and all the other shit that happens. Like, I will do it, but I will do it begrudgingly.
Yeah.
I won't enjoy it. I want you to know I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Well.
But we'll see. There's no way. they've received the feedback loud and clear. I think they received the feedback loud and clear last year.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we can't. I would imagine it's got to be tethered to something new. Put it on Europa.
I mean, that's not a terrible idea if you go down into like the Braytech, the other half of the Braytech lab. It's not a terrible idea.
Something. I mean, it's new. At least would feel different.
Yeah. Just turn the lights off. It's fine.
But wherever you are, just turn the lights off.
It's all the same with the lights off.
All the same.
So, speaking of the lights off, this is the 7-year anniversary of Destiny. We're gonna talk about that for a little bit because, yeah, 7 years, man, is a long time for this. I don't know. Like, I was never like an MMO guy, and like, it was just one of those things where like, oh, well, this franchise I like, there'll be a sequel in about 2 to 3 years, right? Like Halo was like that, Gears was like that, Zelda is kind of like that. Like I just was like, oh, well, I'm done with this version of the game. There'll be a sequel soon. And like Destiny was really the first time I actually jumped into a game where it was like, oh, I need to keep playing this because things are always happening and changing. And you know, it was my first taste of like what an MMO-ish game was like, you know. And what do you remember about Destiny launching? Like, I mean, pre-launch, alpha type stuff. Like, what? I mean, we're just going to talk about our 7-year history with Destiny, I guess.
So I played the alpha on my PlayStation 4. I think that I've only played it on I don't think I ever played it on like the previous gen.
Yeah, like 360 PS3.
I don't think I was a 360 PS3 person. I'm pretty sure I only played it on PS4 because I can tell you for sure because the alpha is still in my store or like my like game downloads page.
Yeah.
And I remember playing that mission on Mars a lot, where you the guy that was like what the fuck was his name? He had like it would shoot like the rockets nonstop at you, and you hide behind.
Yeah,
the
Valis,
the pallet of material or whatever it was. You just basically hide back there where all the end. Like he was such a sponge.
Yeah.
And I remember playing that level and being like, I don't know if I like this, because again, like I was like a Halo person through and through. Like that was my real relationship with Bungie. Anything that I've experienced with Bungie was basically Halo adjacent, being like I liked Halo and I tried to play Marathon because of Halo. Like everything that I knew was like my ground zero. And when Destiny came out, I played that. I'm like, I don't know if I like it. Like it's got the shooting mechanics. It's kind of sci-fi. So it feels kind of like Halo, but like I don't know, the numbers that are coming up on this guy's head, and it just takes forever. And then like I played it again, and 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 this is like the alpha.
Yeah.
And then I think at some point I invited Nerd Generalist over, and I was like, you gotta play this. I think it's fun.
I think it's fun, guys.
So uncertain. And I remember like him coming over and he's like, this isn't the type of game that you would like. I'm like, I think I like it a lot. And I don't know why. Like it just took me getting used to something different. Yeah. And then I was like mildly obsessed. Like I had it at launch. I had a crew of people that I eventually started to raid with that I met at work. And I played the shit out of it. I don't want to know how many hours. And then at some point, Nerd Generalist never really got into it at launch, and then at some point I'm like, hey, Destiny 2's coming out. I need friends to play with. My old crew had like kind of like disbanded, and I was like, I need friends. So I remember like, I will buy you, and he was on Xbox and I had an Xbox too, but I again played primarily on PS4, and I was like, I will buy you Destiny 1, like the whatever the bundle is with all the shit, if you will give it an honest try and we play through it together. And we played through like all the story campaign. I started over in Destiny so I could play with my friend. And we played through that shit, and I mean, this is like that basically takes us up to current, because we bought Destiny 2 at launch and been kind of in the cycle ever since. But it had like a rocky period for me where I like lost the people I played with, and that is such a pivotal thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can survive in Halo being like a solo player because like it's the matchmaking in it is so accommodating for that.
Yeah.
But Destiny, if you don't have friends to play with, or like a group that you can play with, or I guess even in like an LFG at the bare minimum, you're really only getting, I would say, like 25% of the game.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer.
Yeah.
But man, I like it, and I like it. There's something in the DNA that Bungie does that you can tell it's a Bungie game, and that makes me. It draws me to it. I think I'm definitely a Bungie fan for life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, I had just I played the alpha on PlayStation. I was like, I guess I'll play it on PlayStation. I was more of an Xbox guy, but then like when PlayStation 4 and Xbox One came out, I ended up getting a PlayStation 4 because all my friends jumped from Xbox 360 to PlayStation 4, and we have been hearing about Destiny, and I was like, okay, yeah, if I'm going to play with friends, I guess, I got to go where my friends were, and plus they had all that extra, the promise of extra content for the PlayStation players and stuff.
I forgot about Monte Carlo.
Hawkmoon also.
Hawkmoon.
God, man, all that extra strike, that really terrible strike. Also, remember the side tangent. Speaking of extra content, remember the Red Bull quest?
No.
Yeah, there was a Red Bull quest where you got a Red Bull Sparrow.
I had the Sparrow, but I don't remember what the quest was.
Yeah, I don't remember what the quest was either, but I just remember like there was like if you bought Red Bull, you had to enter this code on the in Bungie, and then it sent it to your PlayStation. It was weird.
Remember the Alexa Ghost?
Yeah, I almost bought one when they were $10.
So I did. I have it. I still have one.
They're really expensive now.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're like over $100 now.
What?
Yeah.
I bought it. So I asked my mom to get me one for Christmas, and she did. And this was when they were like $80 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got it, I was like, oh, you still have to have like an Alexa device to use it. And I could use my phone. And I was like, $80. It wasn't even like its own. I have no idea why it's not just like an Echo, or one of those little pucks inside of a Ghost shell. Like I have no idea, especially when it costs more.
Yeah.
And I was so disappointed that I was like, you should return this. And then like the week she returned it, they were down to $10, and then I just bought one.
Yeah.
Bought it again. I was like, I'll have it for $10. Yeah. That's fine.
But like I played the alpha, and I was like, what people were talking about was like it's like Halo meets Fallout meets Borderlands, and I'm like, I like some of those things. I like Halo.
Hopefully it's the good parts of those things.
Borderlands is okay, but I never really played it because, friends didn't want to play with me because I'm not very good at the looter shooter at that time. So, plus I just didn't have the time to grind it out with my one friend that I used to play games with. Like when he got home from work, all he would do was play games. He'd go to bed, go to work, come home from work, play games till he went to bed. Like it's
a life.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he still does that. I haven't talked to him since like the pandemic really started. I've texted him a few times, but
it's just a skeleton holding a controller.
I mean, yeah, could be. But like I started playing it, and then I was playing it. I played through the campaign, and like I didn't really understand that light level system because like you leveled up to level 20 like a normal RPG, right? Where like, okay, my level's 20. Oh, I got this chest piece. Oh, my level went up to 25 by wearing this chest piece. Oh, well, this chest piece is technically better, but your level dropped. So what do I do? And then I was like, I don't really understand this system. And I didn't really have that friend connection to like, hey, what is this all about? What do I do? Right. So I was just like, I played through the campaign, and I was like, I played a couple PvP things, and I was like, what's this raid thing? And I was like, oh, well, you have to have friends. Well, I
Fuck.
yeah, kind of. So I just kind of put it down until Dark Below came out, and then I played through that campaign. I'm like, this is fun to shoot stuff, I guess, but I don't really understand. I don't understand Destiny, and it was like, I like the concept. The shooting was fun, and then like the Titan just appealed to me. I was like, oh, well, this is clearly the Halo stand-in character, so I'm just going to be this guy. But then it wasn't really until House of Wolves came out where my friend was like, hey, you should come over and play Destiny. And I'm like, okay. And it was around the time where I was like really starting to get into like podcasting and stuff. And he actually like showed me how Destiny worked. And hey, there's this really hard thing called Skolas. We should do that, but you need to level up. I'm like, okay, well, teach me. So we went through that, and he was like, hey, you do podcasts and stuff, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, we should do a Destiny podcast where I basically just teach you how to play Destiny on the show. I'm like, okay, that's a neat concept and stuff. And that show's still out there on YouTube. I don't know if it's on podcast feeds or not, but it's still out there on YouTube if you want to find it. I've actually thought about putting those files up on the Tower Casuals channels just for like shits and giggles, whatever. But then like the Moments of Triumph, that first Moments of Triumph was like this really big deal, and all of our friends started jumping into Destiny because the Taken King looked awesome, right? Mm-hmm. Like they had started really promoting it. That live action trailer was really cool. The one where they're like invading the Dreadnought and shooting Oryx in the face with the shotgun, and it was really cool. I really miss those live action trailers, honestly.
They Destiny. Were even the very like the launch trailer, like I remember like Venus Baby, like that, mm-hmm. like where they're playing the Immigrant song, mm-hmm. From Led Zeppelin, like that. I would wager that if you were to watch it now, like it's probably still really good.
It is. I actually went back and watched them yesterday, 2 days ago.
But that's Activision money there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what all of that is.
Yeah.
And that stuff is basically stopped.
Yeah.
When they departed, which I mean, I it makes sense. I like Destiny as more of the boutique game than the huge tentpole.
Yeah.
That it once was.
Yeah. So the big thing was we have to do the Moments of Triumph. I was like, okay, what do we need to do? Well, we need to run Vault of Glass because you've never raided. I'm like, okay, cool, great, let's do that. So one weekend I went over there and we did Vault of Glass and Crota's End back to back. And I was like, wow, this is a really cool experience. He's like, this is what Destiny is kind of about. It's not the campaign, like the campaigns are fun and everything, but mm-hmm. it's the end game that you want to be in. I'm like, you're right. This is fun. Let's do this. And we actually got a raid team, and we actually used to raid every Wednesday night on 3 characters to the point where like we were clearing Kingsfall in under 45 minutes, and we would do that 3 times a week. Like we were that efficient. And that's like, ever since then, it's just been like, okay, this is awesome. But then when Destiny 2 came out, I mean, a lot of people got older. A lot of people kind of dropped off Destiny when Destiny 2 came out. Leviathan wasn't exactly Kingsfall or Wrath of the Machine or even Vault. It was just kind of like, mm-hmm. it was fun. It was fine, but it wasn't what people wanted, and people just kind of fell off, and they were still playing on PlayStation, and then some of my friends from work started playing on Xbox, so I was like trying to keep up with a character on PlayStation and a character on Xbox, and it just got real, like, it was really hard to do,
Right.
And, now with crossplay and everything, it's like, in cross save and everything, it's just real easy to do now, but so I've had my ups and downs with Destiny, but like probably since I would say since the really the Taken King, I've been like really just it's the game I keep coming back. It's like the comfort food game. You know how kind of Halo is for you. Like
Hmm.
Destiny is kind of my comfort food game where I'll just like if I need to relax or whatever, I just jump in and do some bounties or strikes or do the Pinnacle stuff and I don't know. Destiny just it helped me through some things. It really like just I made a lot of friends. You know, I've met a lot of people through Destiny. It's like this Bungie does a really good job of creating this communal experience. You know, and
Yeah.
it's I mean Josh and I met through the Sleeper Simulant quest line from Destiny 1. Like we were in a we were in a group called Sleeper Simulant quest and there was like probably 10, 12 people in there and that's how we met. So it's just been a really interesting game from a communal perspective, you know.
I think it's weird that the one part that about your Destiny experience when it first came out and mine are the same is that, like, I didn't understand most of what was happening,
Mhm.
but I liked something enough that I just kept doing it.
Mhm.
And I don't know what Bungie does in their games like that, but they're really good at whatever that is. Like they find like a way to get a little hook in you, and it's
Mhm.
enough to be like, I need to do that again, and I don't exactly know why,
Mhm.
but I would like to do it again. And you
Mhm.
do it again, and then you're like, yeah, I think I want to keep doing it. I don't know if I like it though. And
Yeah.
you just keep you're like, yep, I'm gonna do it one more time and see if I like it. And it's like you
Mhm.
still don't like I could not have articulated, and I still can't, why I kept playing the game whenever I started. But
Yeah.
it definitely it grabs something in you, and you're like, yep, I like this.
Yeah. I mean,
It's just like having the courage to say it at some point, like I like this game.
yeah. It wasn't about like the shooting or the level design or you know, that wasn't the problem at launch of Destiny 1, right? It was like I I played so few RPGs and so few, you know, games where you like level up or whatever up to that point just because those
Hmm.
weren't the games I was into, you know. Like I had been playing Halo 3 and Gears for, you know, a whole generation, you know.
Hmm.
Uh to the point where like you don't level up in those games at all. You know, Halo has what 12 weapons that you can cycle through, and it's like, oh, this is neat. And then you go to Destiny, and you get in that launch, and there's like, oh well, do oh I have to dismantle weapons. Oh, I have to. What's the difference between a white and a blue weapon? Or you know what I mean? Like I was so new to like the Western RPGs style game that
Hmm.
I was just so lost from the beginning, and I think that kind of hindered my initial experience. But then when friends drag you in and you're like, oh, I like you said, I like it. I think like once I started understanding it, and then we would do strikes and grind the strikes, and they're like, yeah, we got to keep doing these. Oh, I okay, I like it. I think, and then once you start like you know, then once they just changed everything, like it was history. Also, the highlight of Destiny 1 for me was my friend had played it for like 600 or 700 hours at that point or something stupid when House of Wolves came out and Prison of Elders had come out and we ran through Prison of Elders and the second exotic I ever got was Galahorn and he hadn't gotten it yet and it was pretty funny to watch his face. He's like, because like I didn't know the Galahorn issue at all. Like people had played forever and never got it, and then some people who didn't play a lot just got it. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, that's Vault was the first raid that I did. Obviously, it was the first one, but it was one of those things where it's like I feel like I just figured out kind of like part of the cool part about Destiny. It was like the definitely the secrets
mm-hmm.
was a big hook. But like when you do Vault for the first time, especially once you've played so much of the campaign and like the technically like the multiplayer part of it, like the Crucible, which is like nothing,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then you do a raid, and you're just like, whoa, it feels so foreign. Like you're just like, how is all this here? And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like know about it,
Mm-hmm.
because no one was really. That was before like a lot of people were doing videos about it, or at least before I was like watching videos
Mm-hmm.
about stuff like this. So I had no idea that that was really there, or that any of that experience, like what it looked like or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And my first exotic was Hawk Moon. It was playing on PlayStation, and I just remember that was the thing that everyone was chasing, and like I was in the same boat where it's just like I didn't really know how to like level up my gear or what gear to use or like stats wise. So I definitely was like, I'm sure I was very generously being carried through the raid.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember being like, I got Hawk Moon. Is it good? And like everyone lost their shit at me. And like, what do you mean? Is it good? It's like, this guy's got Hawk Moon. Like, he doesn't even know what to do with it. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I remember using it and being like, oh, this is fun. Hawk Moon, the new version of Hawk Moon just does not feel the same to me.
No.
But whatever. I also don't care. Like, it
Mhm.
shouldn't have to feel the same. It's still a fun game to play. There's plenty of other weapons
Yeah.
that I can use. But like, man, the secrets. Do you remember that one, that like white hive gun that you could get? Shit.
What?
And if you did that, you could. Yes.
Necromancer, right?
Yeah, and then you do that, and then you transform it into another gun, and then if you transform it again, like all that tiny stuff like that was so cool.
Or like the
All
first
the
time
hidden
somebody
ghosts.
found the Black Spindle mission.
We just go a different way.
Yeah.
What happens if you just go a different way?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's a quest for a gun.
Yeah.
What?
Or like the binary code for Outbreak in
Wait,
the Wrath of the
nuts.
Machine. Or
Nuts.
yeah. It was cool. Like I kind of feel like Destiny 2 is still missing some of that. Like the secret style stuff.
Yeah, they definitely made it more accessible in a lot of ways, that stuff. But with the game being as mainstream as it is now, and with YouTube and content creation being what it is now, like I would say that we don't know if that stuff actually doesn't really exist, or if it's just like
It's just like
all so present.
yeah, it's just like within the first hour that it's available, somebody found it, and there's already videos and already breakdowns and strategies and whatever, like.
Yes, but like that didn't exist. I mean, it existed then, but you had to like seek it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at some of this old concept art from Destiny 1, and it's just like, man, some of this stuff just like never made it in. Like the giant frog enemy that's
yeah.
It's just, man.
Well, they had like the companions too, didn't they? Have companions in a couple of
yeah,
them?
there's like these white tiger style, like like there's probably going to be some sort of like a ranger class that could tame animals or whatever. And then that whole storyline where like depending on what class you picked depended on the first third of the campaign that you played through, which was really cool. And like how the Taken King was actually part of the original storyline, and the Crow was actually supposed to be like some sort of main character on in the Cosmodrome at that point, and he wasn't Aldrin at that point. He was still just the Crow. And man, when they showed it off, which is when they showed Destiny off at E3 2013, that opening mission where they just fly into that zone where you wake up instead of waking up, and he runs through the mission with Thunderlord, and you see all these Guardians fighting that big tank or whatever. And
also Joe Staten's name in it was Oryx something, wasn't it?
Oryx like BNG, Oryx Bungie was his name in there, which is like, man, that's it's all just, man, that whole reveal was super cool, and that opening mission just never made it into the game that way, and it's actually part of the new light quest now. Like it's in there now, which by the way, new light quest still sucks.
Yeah, it's. I would say that any game like this, we've talked about it, like a live service game, has that fundamental issue of
Onboarding players.
onboarding players. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Like, so Fallout 76, I played that at launch.
Mm-hmm.
I played the massive shit show that was the launch, and part of me was just curious to be like, is it really that bad? And there was like a moment where I was just like, I'm gonna have to put this down. I don't think this is really a playable game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I picked it up again, and I was like, oh, it's better. And I played through a little bit, and then when Nerd got back into it, like, I'm gonna actually level up a character and actually commit some time to it. And I did it, and even that is still like, what's this money for? What is this thing for? Why do I have to break this down? What happens with all this junk? Like what? Like there's so many moving parts.
And there's less currency to keep track of now than there was. Remember, like the Ascendant. What were they? Like not the Ascendant shards, but the Ascendant light or whatever. And like you had to combine them to make the Ascendant orbs, and then you use the orbs to level up your vault armor. And it was just like, wow, what is all this crap?
So do you remember Motes of Light?
Yeah.
So this is like how dumb I am with stuff like that. But there was also like they may have said something at some point on how to level it up early on, but it was before I like had the equipment to use it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember being like I don't remember how many Motes of Light I had, but it was a lot because I had never used them.
Yeah.
And playing with my one friend, and he's like, you should get Hung Jury. It's a good roll or something at the faction vendor or whatever. I'm like, how do I do that? And he's like, well, you can use these Motes of Light. And I'm like, oh, it's like, I don't think I have any of those. He's like, well, did you use them all? I'm like, I don't know what they are. He's like, well, you should have some then. And I forget how many. I'm like, I have this many. He's like, oh my God. He's like, go spend them. Yeah. And he's just like, oh, I didn't know I could just do that. Remember leveling up your armor and having to like unlock all the perks that it had.
Mm-hmm. God, remember the subclass stuff too, where you like the bubbles in the subclass and you had to like, they were tied to experience and everything. Oh man, that was.
I think I still have D1 on my Xbox.
I definitely do. It's on my Xbox though, and I only played through the Taken King with this character because I was like, well, I kind of want to play on Xbox and catch up with my friends because D2, like, you know, my friend and I just kind of sat down and we were like, we should play through D1, and then we got like most of the way through, and then we were like, no, we should go back to D2.
Yeah, it's tough going back. Like I remember whenever D2 came out and switching over and be like, oh, it does look better, but like in my mind, never thinking how much better it looked. And it's tough now because if you're playing on like a current generation console, so like an XS or a PS5 or PC, like it's a lot better. But I honestly couldn't tell you what Destiny 2 looks like at 30 frames a second.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Not good, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I booted it up on my Xbox One X after I got my Series X just to like compare it, and it was like, I was like, it's so unplayable. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that it was unplayable. It's just like this feels so slow, and it definitely feels less responsive, and it was just like, man, I just done with this Xbox, I guess. So,
well, I mean, for now, you can use it as a xCloud console soon.
You could, but it's just sitting in the basement with all the rest of my Xboxes that are unplugged at the moment. So
I need to go back to in Rise of Iron where you could go to that mountain.
Yeah, Fellwinter's Peak.
Remember climbing the side of that mountain to get all those little statues or something that you could
they were I forget what they were, like the statues. Remember the statues inside that you had to like bang on to make a song or whatever?
Oh yeah, you had to do it within a certain time frame.
Yeah, there's my Destiny 1 Titan right there. She looks a lot like my Destiny 2 Titan.
Yeah, mine looks the same too. I didn't have it installed, but I'm downloading it now just to the menu
like the fact
the UI had such an upgrade. I mean, that looks pretty similar.
Yeah. It's slow though. That
It's
30
real
frames.
slow.
30
But
frames.
I mean, it looks, everything looks, the textures and everything look kind of bad.
Yeah, I'll tell you when we get into the tower how bad it looks.
Oh, it's not great.
But
Everything's muddy.
yeah,
No HDR there.
no. Man, I gotta tell you, man, this is
Memories.
memories. And they should probably just stay that way at this point.
It's better in your mind. It's always going to be better how you remember it than it actually how it was.
Yeah, I'm excited that they're bringing King's Fall back though. It's 60 frames a second and some better gear and supers. And... oh, jeez, wow.
Yeah. Oh, you go over to the Eververse vendor, and there's like the fan that you could like fly up on top.
Oh yeah. Access Silver Dust store.
Do you have any silver dust?
Oh my gosh, 30 frames. What the heck? I'm getting sick.
Always
I don't like it.
selling those glows.
Yeah.
That was like such a big thing.
Why can't I get up here? This tower is full though. I'll give it that credit. Oh well.
I wonder how
Anyways.
many servers they have dedicated to Destiny 1 at this point. Can't be many.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know.
I should write in and be like, I thought you guys did cross save. I booted up Destiny 1. I couldn't play with my PlayStation 4 people. Light level 335.
Wow. Wow, I don't even have my Striker Titan leveled up. That's sad.
I mean, my Destiny 1 character on Xbox 2 is pretty bare bones. Because if we play it on PlayStation 4, I should download it on PS4 and see what it's like.
Yeah.
That was the one really sad point in my Destiny career, though, when Destiny 2 came out, and I, at that point, had switched over, so I played primarily on PlayStation. The tail end of D1, I switched to Xbox, and then for D2, it was just Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, all the title cards, it was like, here's all the stuff you did. It was like, you didn't do jack shit.
I know.
You did nothing. And
I know.
like, but I did do things.
I know my PlayStation title cards were way more impressive than the Xbox ones.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but you go where your friends are. I mean, that's again like the community aspect. Like, if every one of my friends played Destiny somewhere else, that's where I would have to play Destiny. I mean, not now, I guess.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't matter.
Now it doesn't matter. So
It's a Linkin Park song.
in the end, it doesn't even matter. Speaking of the end, Joe, do we want to do lore corner, or do we just want to end it here?
What about questions?
Oh yeah, we got a question. I forgot. Thank you. I wasn't even opening the doc. I just had the lore corner open. So, if you want your question read on the show, you should tweet at us at Tower Casuals or email us at towercasuals@gmail.com or find the episode post on Instagram at Tower Casuals, just like Joasis did via Instagram. He says, "What are y'all most excited for in the Witch Queen? Are y'all ever going to play with listeners? And last one, what is y'all's favorite exotic weapon across Destiny 1 and 2? So, the Witch Queens, what am I most excited for? I don't know. The fact that I'm more, I guess the story stuff is what I'm really excited for. I'm always excited to play through a new campaign. Like a real campaign. Like the seasonal stuff's fine, right? The story stuff and the seasonal stuff is fine, but like I want that, hey, let's go in, let's play these levels, let's play them, let's get through them, and then we'll get to the end game where there's quests that, expand on the story. Also, the Titan armor doesn't...
I'm ready for a new raid.
Yeah, that's probably it too. I'm always looking forward to a new raid, especially because like I don't I don't get to raid very often anymore. Just like we said earlier, schedules and timing and stuff. But there's still Destiny 2 raids I haven't done. So
I everyone gets pumped and energized when there's like a new drop. So I mean, like it'll be easier to match up and play stuff then. Just it always is. I can't. I like fighting Hive. What's your favorite enemy type to kill?
Uh,
What a question. Who do you like to kill?
well, it's not Hive because of Exploding Thrall and Sword Knights. I I feel bad saying Fallen because we're friends now. So
You should feel bad.
I do feel bad a little bit. Cabal are always fun, just because they're the biggest and they always look the most menacing because they're the biggest, I guess.
Their heads pop.
I know they do, especially with that Firefly
Mm.
perk. It's real fun.
I've always liked killing Hive.
Yeah.
I wasn't like a huge fan of the Taken when they were introduced. I thought that some of the level design around it was cool, where you'd like have like these black spots that when you look into them, it wasn't really. It's like a black hole where you think it's empty space, but it's actually a three-dimensional object.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always thought that was really cool because you look at it from one angle and it looks just like black, and then you look and it's actually like a ball, and then you look into it and then you can see like space. Like I thought that was always really neat.
Yeah.
But I never really liked like killing them for some reason because they just felt like Hive, like they like Black Hive.
Yeah.
But I like killing Hive a lot. I like killing Thrall. I miss the lanterns from Crota. The little lantern thing where you have to like hit lanterns.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm ready for a new raid. I want a new raid. Like I want like a new raid. As much as I'll play King's Fall.
Yeah.
I want a new one. But
Yeah.
I want it to be on level, on par with that.
Yeah. I think that this is like, I mean, not that I didn't enjoy Deepstone. It definitely didn't hit a mark for me. You know, like it was fun, you know, and what, like I would totally run it again, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, it just didn't feel like it didn't hit the marks that I felt like I wanted a raid to hit, you know? I don't know. It just didn't feel big enough.
I like it. I like Deepstone a lot. I like that area a lot. I like the art style.
Yeah, I like the aesthetic of the raid, and I like the weapons and stuff that you get from it. I just felt like I don't know. I don't know what it was about it. That first encounter after the bubbles, I guess, you know, it just maybe I'm just like not doing anything. I feel like maybe I feel like maybe that's part of it, you know, where I was just like ad clearing, and then after you guys were done downstairs, hit the middle, you know, light middle or whatever, and it's just like, okay, I guess I'll blow up this tank now.
I think that part of your the synapses that register whenever you play a raid for the first time, I think dictate your future enjoyment and overall enjoyment of the raid. And I would agree that like being taken through a raid, like once everyone's like well established, like oh, we know what to do and we'll give you this job since you don't have this, or you know, like we don't want to have to explain something to you. If you're not part of figuring it out, it's definitely not fun or as fun. I don't enjoy it. I don't like watching Rick Cactus's videos before I go into a raid if I've never played it. I just don't like it. I like to figure it out, or at least like have someone kind of explain to me a little bit of like what's gonna happen while I'm in the room. Otherwise, like I don't think I would like it. So I totally get that. I don't think I would enjoy it if someone was just like, okay, here, just shoot this thing, and be like, okay, all right. I mean, all right.
Yeah, and because like by the time I got to run it with you guys, like you guys had already run it like 4 or 5 times at that point, and it's like
I think at that point we had like gotten a lot of the clears for any of the achievements or whatever, your triumphs and stuff like that out of the way. Like we had done it.
Yeah.
a significant amount of time.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that was part of it, but I don't. I mean, I didn't feel like that way when we ran Vault though the other day or a couple weeks ago. But I mean, I guess that's because I've run Vault so many times in D1 that this just didn't feel that different either.
Right.
So.
Well, I would say whatever the next raid is, I know that when we play a raid day one that we're not going to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm well aware of that. Or I mean, maybe we would, but that's not my expectation.
Mm-hmm.
But I still love playing it on day one. I love going in to experience it before anyone has a chance to tell me anything about it.
Yeah.
Love it. And I don't ever want to lose that. I'll want to play it on day one, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe when it comes out, I'll try to jump in on that day one thing because like maybe that's it because like for King's Fall and Wrath and Leviathan, it was all day one for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoyed it immensely, and I don't know, I guess I also, like you said, like I hate being the one that's like tagging along. It feels like sometimes now because just time constraints and whatever. But also when we ran Scourge of the Past last year, I didn't feel that way though. So I don't know. I feel like I'm running around circles on this question now at this point, but are we ever going to play with listeners? I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, I know we just kind of had the thing at the top of the show where we said we didn't care about LFG stuff, but I think, community interaction is still important in this game.
What do you want to play, Joasis?
Yeah.
What are we playing? Playing Crucible?
What are you buying?
We're doing. What are you selling? I mean, I'm not opposed to that. I'm a fairly awkward individual. I think we all are.
Yeah.
In our own ways.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not opposed to playing with anybody. But I gotta temper the expectations. Like, I don't think playing with a listener on a raid the first time would be the best idea. Maybe I could be wrong too. You could be a great addition to the team.
Right.
I don't want to.
Right.
But like, I feel like when you get into those I've played a lot with people, Destiny specifically, where like it doesn't end well.
Yeah.
I don't know what about the game that like also can bring out some of the worst aggro in people, but it definitely happens. I've done like Nightfall LFGs and had people like rage quit in the middle of a Nightfall and be like, what happened?
Yeah.
You got booped. We all get booped. It happens.
It's just the game. The architects will always kill you at some point.
Oh, the architects.
The misadventures too.
So that was my first clan name, was the Misadventurers Union. It was good. I mean, it wasn't a good clan. I mean, it was a fine clan, but there was just like clearly not enough involvement.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't know what they did. So
yeah, I want to get to that point with the Tower Casuals clan. I've never really like promoted it either, though.
Perfect time, Joasis. Join the Tower Casuals clan. You'll be able to see when we're online, and if we do an LFG, you'll get a little invite, and feel free to join up. How's that?
Yeah. That's something I never like really just thought to like promote the clan. I guess I just was like, oh well, we'll keep it to friends until we decide what to do with it. But there we go, it's out there now. Tower Casuals podcast clan. Maybe I'll just put it in a link through the Twitter account or whatever.
Do it.
Yeah. So join up. We've got some engrams waiting for you.
Get us that. Help us get that weekly loot.
Yeah.
Which is like the easiest thing. Remember when that used to be really broken and you would just get like whatever?
Yeah.
I remember like for a while I was part of like the IGN clan.
Yeah.
Or something, and I would like log in. It would just be like every drop would just be there. I'm like, all right.
Well, I remember when my daughter was born and I was still kind of playing on PlayStation and Xbox, and I logged into my PlayStation account at one point, and I just had like probably 20 engrams waiting at Hawthorne because my friends just kept playing, It was like, oh man, that was so nice. So nice to just level up so quickly.
I feel like a lot of people like don't like stuff like that, but it doesn't bother me at all. Like
No.
I know that I still play the game. I don't have anything to prove.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't either. I just I would like to get some prisms. That's all. Can we add some prisms to the clan reward system? Give me some
Oh
prisms.
man, that would be, you know what? That would be way better.
Yeah.
I would rather have like, I guess not a lot of, if you anybody that runs like grandmasters or anything, you get them like, we did a couple grandmasters, I don't know, a couple seasons ago, and you'll get like 10 prisms like per run.
Wow.
So I mean, man, I
That would be
downloaded
more
Destiny
helpful
1
at
and
this
booted it
point.
up, and it
I think you should be able to like set Hawthorne's like rewards and say, hey, if I don't want engrams anymore, maybe I can get prisms or something, or at least cores, to buy prisms, I guess.
oh the end. Yeah, or upgrade modules.
Yeah,
It's always feast or famine with all that stuff with me. Like I'll have so many upgrade modules, and then like a new season starts, and it's like now I got like 6.
yeah.
Not great.
I did get like 15 enhancement cores yesterday for some reason as I was like killing stuff, and I was like,
Oh
oh,
shit.
neat. I was like, okay, cool. I'll just buy a prism since no, they don't want to drop for me.
I'll just take yeah. It's just so shitty that it's like you get this currency to get this currency to get this currency to get this currency.
I know. You get cores, and you can buy prisms with your cores, and then once you have enough prisms, you can buy the ascendant shards, and it's like, oh my gosh, what? Jeez. But let's see what. Okay, so the last question is, what's your favorite exotic weapon across all of Destiny? Man, I don't know. I have a lot of exotics that I use, but I don't know if they would be like my favorites. Xenophage is up there. It's pretty fun. Xenophage is fun.
I loved Xenophage until what happened to it recently.
They nerfed it. It doesn't fire as fast, but it fires more powerful, but you carry less ammo.
It's not great.
Yeah.
I used to love the Monte Carlo and Bad Juju. D1 Hawkmoon always has such a strong place in my heart. Like it was always so good.
Yeah. Hardlight has like this weird special place for me because that was my first exotic, and like I know it's not great. It's not like a great exotic. It's good, I guess, when you're like fighting, when there's like that shield burn on where like you have to match, what is it called? Match something shield, where you have to like match the elements with the shield or whatever. Like it's a useful weapon there. But like I don't know, Hardlight always has had a weird soft spot for me because it was my first. Always remember your first. I see you going through Destiny in the back, and you're
yeah.
back there.
So I'm looking at my blueprints in D1 just to see what's even here, and like
I forgot about the blueprint stuff.
Oh shit! Here's more things. Man, when they introduced swords.
Yeah, swords were cool. Remember when you had to grind? You had to like find the stuff.
That one
the
little
loop. Yeah.
Right, and you had to like kill someone within a certain amount of time with a certain subclass to get this that specific sword.
Yeah. God, that was so awful. Or like the Touch of Malice quest was also something that like I remember not so fondly.
Oh man. I remember one of my favorite guns in D1 that I used non-stop until like they kept nerfing it, and then it got nerfed into the ground, was the icebreaker.
Oh yeah.
Where it would like automatically refill the magazine.
Yeah.
And you could basically just like keep shooting it if you like time it slow enough.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so great. And then they eventually did something where it's just like
They, well,
it was drew from the magazine eventually, I think, like so it wouldn't just be infinite.
well, it wasn't that. It wasn't just that though. They changed the entire light leveling system, and they didn't bring all the year one stuff forward.
Right. So yeah,
Which,
like yeah. And
yeah,
that's when Galahorn, like the Galahorn 2 is not great.
yeah,
But I don't know, there were so many cool guns.
yeah.
And I'm only really thinking of guns. I'm not really thinking of like class armors or anything like that, but like
I mean, Jade Rabbit was cool for me, for somebody who sucks at
Jade Rabbit,
headshots.
I always feel like Jade Rabbit was cooler like looking than I actually liked. That's and a lot of the exotic guns are like that with me. Like
Yeah,
I like how they look and sound more than they.
yeah,
Oh man, I get to rank up.
yeah. I guess the first time we went and built Sleeper Simulant, that was a cool experience.
Oh man,
It was hard trying to figure that out.
I'll I'll I hope Icebreaker comes back. I really do. I don't know what you would do to make it.
I mean, totally have to change the gun though, right? Like they would have to change the perks and the exotic perk especially, right? Like I mean, I feel like they would totally have to change that.
I feel like you would almost have to.
Yeah. Mm, Queen Breaker's bow and the Lord of Wolves were cool.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of Wolves is still cool. Kind of sucks now, but it was cool. There's a lot of cool things. Also, Titan stuff like learning how to pair armor with weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember when everybody figured out how to pair Axiom War Rig with Sweet Business. That was funny.
Husk of the Pit is the first gun in that stage
Yeah.
where you upgrade it to Necrochasm.
Yeah, Necrochasm, that's what it was called. I think I said Necromancer. I knew that wasn't right.
I think there's another one in there, but and the only reason why I know is because my character in D1 right now has Husk of the Pit in there, and that's the only reason why I would have that in there.
Oh, remember in D1 where if you kept Kvastov,
Yeah,
that it just turned into the exotic version after like you skipped like 4 steps of the quest or whatever. That was cool.
I think that's one of the ones I have in here.
Which is funny because I
Yeah.
actually kept it from the new light quest that I did with my warlock, because you still get it in Destiny 2 with the new light quest, and I just put it in my vault. I'm like, maybe they'll bring it back. And like the
What
perks were cool.
I've heard that if you use that though, I hear in like Crucible because it balances your light level that it's decent.
Oh really?
It used to be. I don't know if that's still true or not.
I kept it though from the new light quest because I was like, well, if they do that again, maybe they'll just keep it again.
Yeah. Oh man, this game looks so janky.
I know. Dude, when you turn the camera and it runs at sub 30, oh my gosh, it's like so jarring.
Eris Morn looks weird.
Yeah. Well, she always looks weird, but
She's. I mean, I'd give her the time of day.
by the way, I looked up the Eris Morn statue because like the Drifter one, I have the Drifter one and the Exo Stranger one.
Uh-huh.
And Eris is the next one that's being released. Do not Google search Eris Morn statue. There's a lot of awkward fan art of Eris out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
That's kind of weird. I mean, I get whatever.
DeviantArt made it to mainstream.
Always
It's kind of scary.
activate fan.
So yeah.
Fans
anyways.
active.
So we're approaching the 2 hour mark. We're gonna skip lore corner this week. We're gonna probably just wrap this up. We could, don't get me wrong, talk about D1 stuff and D2. Like I could just talk about memories all day, but let's be honest, got to get up early. Kids, I'm sure my kids will wake up 3 or 4 times tonight, which will be fun. By the way, the other night my daughter there's a chair in her room, and she likes to get out of her bed at like 2:00 in the morning and go sleep in the chair, and she'll just sleep in the chair all night.
Oh, that sounds so creepy.
Yeah. Well, the other day she fell asleep while climbing out of her bed, and she cracked her mouth open.
Oh, jeez.
But then she just fell asleep on the floor. She cried for like 5 seconds and then fell asleep on the floor. So that was fun.
That kids, man, they don't. I don't know. They don't ever really like. I feel like you kind of have to let them do crap like that so that they like know not to do it. Because you could tell her 1,000 times like, "Don't climb out of your crib.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do this. Just stay here." And like it's like I want to keep you safe, but ultimately like they're gonna do it and then they'll get hurt and then they won't do it again.
Yeah, or they will, and they'll just.
They will.
They'll just be. Oh man, it's funny. I was. My daughter and my nephews. My nephews were over here today, and they were playing today. And my daughter was like underneath her little desk table thing, and like kicking it up against the wall. I'm like, "Don't do that! Don't do that!" And she kicked it so hard that like she has like this big Minnie Mouse house thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're aware of the Disney Plus cartoon Minnie's Bow Tunes.
No.
My daughter is super obsessed with. Well, we got her the Bow Tunes house, and it was just sitting on the desk. She kicked the table so hard that it fell on her, and instead of like crying like a normal person, she thought it was hilarious and then did it again. So
yikes.
While I was sitting there playing Destiny through the cloud on my laptop because they were watching Bow Tunes. So
not great.
Yeah, and my 9-year-old nephew is like watching Destiny. He thought it was the coolest game he's ever seen. Because like he's not old enough to play those. They don't let him play Halo or anything because he's 9, right? Like, I mean, I was like, well, I guess I started playing GoldenEye when I was 10, 9 or 10, 11, 10-ish. I don't know. But
I mean, I'll let Roman play Destiny as soon as he's able to and be a competent player.
Yeah.
None of this. I'm not going to let him play now because he's not going to be good.
Yeah.
That's the only real thing that's stopping me.
Wow. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. If you're listening on iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating and a nice review. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Tower Casuals. That Twitch thing is happening, I think. So you should look for Tower Casuals on Twitch. Joe, where can we find you? I know it's coming.
Check the show notes.
Check the show notes.
For old time's sake. No, it's Colonel Panic, but I mean, it's just so complicated.
It's true, but it's also fun.
K3RNL Panic.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
It's fine. You can
Twitter's the best part. That'll be my hub. No TikTok yet.
It's all right. I say you can find me at I am Corey in HD, but people don't know to put the E in my name because it's Corey. So
yeah, man.
Twitter's hard, guys.
Twitter's hard. A lot of the names are taken.
It's true. You can find me at I am Corey in HD on Twitter. You should subscribe to our YouTube channel also because it's fun.
100%. See what's up and coming. And I want to know if you're back to Destiny. You new?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you old?
Comment, everybody.
Comment.
Let
us know.
So yeah, we have some cool stuff coming up. We have some cool guests coming up on this show, so be prepared for that. Not that Joe's not important, but this is like
I get it.
A real guest. So on the 23rd. So keep an eye out for that. And we'll see you next time, Guardians. Goodbye.
Later.
Goodbye.